10,000 streams span out like a river delta before you, each one promising the path of least resistance. The thing is, you're headed upstream. And when you make that choice, when you decide to turn back on what's comfortable, safe, and what some would call common sense, well, that's day one. From there, it only gets tougher. So just make sure this is something you want. Because the easy way out will always be there, ready to wash you away. All you have to do is pick up your feet. But you aren't going to, are you? With each step comes the decision to take another. You're underway now, but this is no time to dwell on how far you've come. You're in a fight against an opponent you can't see, but all you can feel a creating against tension. You're bleeding and dabbing at it. You know what that is? That's you. Your fears, your doubts, and insecurities all lined up like a firing squad, ready to shoot you out of the sky. But tell them sorry. While they're not easily defeated, they are far from invincible. Remember, this is the grind, the battle royale between you, the mind, your body, the devil, and the shoulders. Telling you that this is just a game. This is just a waste of time. Your opponents are stronger than you. Drown out the voice of uncertainty with the sound of your own heartbeat. Burn away yourself down with the fire of beneath. Remember what we're fighting for and never forget it. Men's she can turn on a dime at the smallest mistake. She is ever searching for the weak place in your armor. And one time you forgot to prepare for it. So as long as the devil is hiding the details, the question remains, is that what you have? Are you sure? And the answer is yes. You've done all you can to prepare yourself for that. Then it's time to pour the boldly preach that people. Can't think of it. Only now you must take that fight into the open. These are hostile territory. You're a lion in a field of lions, all hunting the same elusive prey with a desperate salvation that says victory is the only thing that can keep you alive. So believe that voice that says you can run a little faster and you can throw a little harder. And that for you, the laws of physics are merely a suggestion. Luck is the last time she goes along with the moon can happen by accident. Sweat, on the other hand, is for those who know it's a choice. So decide now, because destiny waits for no man. And when your time comes and 1,000 different voices are trying to tell you you're not ready for it, listen instead to that lone voice in the center. The one that says you are ready, you are prepared. It's all up to you now. So rise and shine.
Wake up, sunshine. Rise and shine. What's up, everybody? Welcome to The Grind, ladies and gentlemen, the realest show ever. The show where we have that unscripted conversation. Guys, we're absolutely going to say some things on this show that some people love. We're going to say some things on this show that some people don't like. But guess what? It's all a part of what we do. That's life. Can't please everybody. So guess what? We're going to try to get somebody right today. Say what's up, Pam.
Great morning to everybody jumping on the grind. Happy Friday. It's Freedom Friday. Every day should be freedom, right? When you are working towards your goals, your dreams, the things that you got on the inside of you, but it's another, phenomenal day, another great day for us to make a decision that, you know what, we're going to dominate and we are going to have us an amazing day, which ultimately creates an amazing life, right?
Absolutely. Tell somebody to grind on. Tell somebody we get ready to win today. Let's pop this thing off, man. Share this thing out. Show y'all how to win today. Show y'all how to dominate today. Y'all don't want to miss this.
How many of y'all out there winning today? Everybody is going up.
Heat in the kitchen, on the stove, water getting boiled, being slow, snooping, system overload. I've been running this rap game since I was 20 years old. I come with the buster, buster my buster, awesome, part of my awesome, for me, I'm awesome, pressure, don't mess with us. We like the youth in the 80s, master, get the link, get it back, get the trick, track, want my money back, I'm again, while I'm living on this, now ladies, yeah, win, baby, win, no matter what, got money in my mind, I can never get enough, every time I go, I feel it, everybody hands go up, and they say, and they say, and they say, you know,
What's up, man? Welcome back to the grind, the realest show ever, man. We've been in the bubble for 2 weeks now, here on the grind, almost the end of 2 weeks.
Right,
Absolutely. Been in the bubble. We're getting ready to bust out the bubble today. Guess what? Because you got the ability to pop the bubble at any moment, at any time. So we're gonna pop it today. And inside of that bubble, what we're gonna realize is what we created, right? We created the foundation that we can stand on and dominate on. Pam, what you think about the bubble?
Well, you know what, that bubble, you know, is something that's very powerful, because that's where we are, right? And pretty much what we talked about over the last couple episodes is really, identifying, it's understanding that it's you versus you, right? It's us versus ourselves. And realizing that, there's certain things that we got to get outside and, remove from that bubble, because we allow certain things to come in. And we got the power to shift, to turn things around, to take control in order to be able to, move forward in life. So,
absolutely.
It's all about the discovery. It really is. That's when things begin.
The discovery. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Today is Freedom Friday, guys, so we're mimosa out. So you guys know, as always,
got the mimosas going on. Mm-hmm, yes.
Yep. So, man, a lot of powerful things happened in the bubble.
Right.
A lot of people discover some things about themselves, as Pam just said. And from that point, you really, if you took the bubble serious, or if you're taking the bubble serious, you may still be in your bubble process right now. But on this show, we want to end this power series by telling you guys how to come out of the bubble and dominate. And guess what? You can't base how you dominate on how somebody else dominates. Okay?
Right.
Remember, you are an original.
Absolutely.
You're an original. You're not a copy. So stop copying people, right? It's one thing for you to emulate before you create, but don't copy. Don't be somebody else. Somebody else can say something, or that you hear, you love, you write it down. Cool. Emulate the things that they're doing. No problem with that, right? But don't just copy, because you give away your ability to define and chase and be in your destiny towards your purpose, right? So guys, that's probably one of the most important lessons that you could learn here in this, is to be an original, right? And I think that's what we created in the bubble.
Absolutely.
Right? We created some originals.
Yeah, definitely, because you start to really take the time to listen. You start to take the time to discover the things that you have on the inside. You take the time to discover why you are where you are in life, right? There you go. I got it. All right. And now you're able to build upon a strong foundation because you really understand, what's on the inside, so the bubble is very powerful because it's where you discover everything, because
Absolutely.
many times we don't take the time to put ourselves in that bubble, take the time to slow down before we can speed up, in life in order to really, discover the things that's necessary to move us forward.
There you go. There you go. And you guys are making some good comments. I love it.
It's all about self.
It's all about self, and you got to be in that selfish mode
Right.
for an extent, guys, so that you can get what you want. So here's the thing about creating. When you're creating, that means it's yours.
Right.
That means you set the rules, you define it, you know what it is, you know what you want out of it. It's yours, you control it, right?
Mhm.
So if you got all those parameters covered, then you're in your own core. You're not in somebody else's core.
Right.
So you being you means you created the you that you wanted to create, and the atmosphere, the environment, right? So if you're creating all of those dynamics, then that means you get the opportunity to define everything that happens. But when you don't have the opportunity, if it's not your creation, if it's not your environment, you didn't create that environment, you're in somebody else's environment, right? Like the job, you can't just do what you do.
Right.
There are parameters there, okay? You can't show up with a beanie on, and a tube top and think it's gonna be okay. Right? They have rules that you have to follow, right? So that's why Pam and I are so big on creating our own environment, creating what we call ours, is because in this space we can create, and the people that vibe with us, the people that want to be a part of what we do, our tribe, then that means then they're cool with what we do.
Right.
And we're all on the same page, right?
No,
so it's
good.
important that we know that difference.
That's good. And we really got into that core, where you had the bullseye with the green zone, the yellow zone, and
reverse
the red
bullseye.
Zone. Right, the reverse bullseye.
Starts out red because you're the target, then it goes to green because now you're the core.
Right.
And that's the core, and that's what you want. You want to get that red on the outside and not on the inside.
Absolutely.
Okay, I want you guys to grab that concept because it makes all the sense in the world, because you don't want to continue to be a bullseye and continually be oppressed in what you do every day, saying I'm creating. You're not creating if you're the bullseye, if you're the target, right? So that simply means, guys, the green is the core, the yellow is the lobby, and the red is the parking lot. Keep people in the parking lot that aren't ready to be in the lobby, right? Keep everybody, everything, every situation in context to protecting the core, because that's where you do your work at.
Right, absolutely. That's where it all happens.
All right. So let's jump into this dominate part, because I'm always excited about this, about the dominate piece, because we get to introduce something to you guys that we've actually only talked about once before. And we talked about monetizing free last week as well, and it's really Tuesday. We talked about monetizing free, how it's important to give and allow God to allow God to give you what He wants you to have, what you should have based on what you've been doing, right?
Right.
So all of that happens in the bubble, and now that you've created the foundation, you've done everything that Pam just mentioned, and so now you've dusted yourself off, and you're like, I'm ready. Let's get this. Let's go kill it, right? We're going to teach you guys something today that we've been living by for a while now, and we believe it's how you actually dominate. I want to read what dominate really means. Dominate means have a commanding influence on or exercise control over. Have a commanding influence on or exercise control over. All right, so we can throw in a person, a place, a thing, a situation, a vision, a goal, whatever it is, you want to dominate, right? So many people are gonna talk you out of dominating, right? And everything's done in a spirit of excellence, right? If we can understand that. Everything, I know we're creating this amazing fertile ground and foundation But man, some things are just out of bounds, you know.
Right.
So, some people take this concept to a whole nother level, and it gets weird, you know. It just gets weird. And then I want to jump into that. I don't want to jump into that too much, but it gets weird when you start. I guess I can talk about it like this because I've said this before. There's truth, and then there's absolute truth. Right. The truth of what you create is the truth of what you create. You control that, right? But you know that's 2 + 2 = 5 in your world, right? 2 + 2 is absolute truth when it equals 4.
Right.
You go out on the outside world and say, okay, absolute truth is 2 + 2 = 5, and everybody gonna call you slow.
Right.
Okay. So that's what I mean when I say it gets weird, because some people try to inflict the truth that they've created to give them their own personal power, right, into the absolute truth, right? Oh, the sky is blue outside, you know, and the sun is shining, and you walk outside and it's raining, cats and dogs and thunder and lightning. The absolute truth is it's raining outside, right? That's the absolute truth. So it gets weird when people start to doing things in public and saying things in public that don't have a level of absolute truth.
Right.
Right. Some things are right. Some things are just wrong. I wanted to say that as a disclaimer, first and foremost.
Okay.
So let's not, you know, I want people to think they're going to be a maverick, because when we put this principle out for you guys, I want you guys to understand what this really, really means. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the strike principle, and this is kind of like deja vu, Pam. Like, you ever had a deja vu moment? It's like deja vu. The strike principle, there's 6 different aspects of the strike principle, and it starts with STIRKE. And the strike principle was originally created by me, guys, to actually kill fear. Okay, kill fear and dominate. So that's the first part of it. We know that fear is what, Pam?
Fear is false evidence appearing real, right? We allow.
You know it's going to be a quiz. False evidence appearing real.
Fear is so many different things, you know, but it's definitely what we allow our minds to create, you know, to allow us to become fearful in different situations, to not have total control. Fear is anything that we allow to stop us, but definitely we allow it to appear real in our lives, which can be very controlling to making us believe that, you know, we can't do certain things. So
Right.
Fear is real. You know, we allow it to be real. Let me put it that way in our lives.
Right. Things that we focus on that may or may not ever happen.
Right.
Right. But
absolutely.
we allow them to freeze us up. Okay. So guys, so let's go ahead, and before we pop the bubble, all right, and you guys can pull out the S on your shirt. My S is improvise, adapt, and overcome, right? So you can pull out that, whatever yours is. Before we do that, let's jump into the strike principle and talk about conquering that fear, because there is that fear that this last little part before you pop that bubble that's there. And we got to just eradicate all of that or annihilate that fear, okay? So the first one, guys, the S stands for self-awareness, okay? Self-awareness. Self-awareness is super, super, super important. When you know who you are, what you are, and who you are,
Right, absolutely.
it becomes easier to address and strengthen your challenges, right? Address and strengthen your challenges. Now, that word was originally weaknesses, but I don't believe we have any weaknesses. I don't believe I have a weakness. I see everything as a challenge. I never believe that I have problems, right? Because I don't think that there's a problem that I can't overcome.
Absolutely.
Right? Some problems are more painful than others, but it helps us to address and strengthen those challenges. Self-awareness. What does that really mean, right? So right off the bat, guys, you take one bullet out of the gun. A bullet that has already been fired can't hurt you when you're firing it, right? So one bullet's out of the gun. Let's take this thing in the context of 6 bullets, okay? One bullet's out of the gun. So
Strike.
strike's gone. It's done, right? So fear is the biggest fear. Fear's biggest fear is awareness. Fear's biggest fear. You didn't know the fear had a fear, did you? Fear's biggest fear is awareness. You ever saw how a shark attacks? You guys know how a shark attacks? It always attacks from where? The bottom, right?
This comes out of nowhere.
It comes out of nowhere. It seems like it comes out of nowhere. Why? Because fear is like the shark. The shark is, you ever realize every sea creature or sea, I don't know what you're going to mammal, whatever you call them, they're created with their own unique ability to survive. The shark's ability to survive is its ability to hunt, right? It's a predator. So it's gray on the top and it's white on the bottom, right? You guys ever realize that? I know you say, I know a shark gray on the bottom, but have you ever asked yourself why? These are the things that I ponder during the day. Honestly, when I'm thinking about stuff, I'm like, why is that way? Why is that? I don't want to be analytical, but I want to know, right? But I think about why is the shark gray on the top? Because the water itself is gray, right? The sand on the bottom of the ocean is white. So if you're on the bottom of the ocean, you can't really see the shark that good because the sand is white. But if you're on the top, you look down, you can't really see him that good unless you really, really focus, right? So the sharks, it's predator skills, it's predator adaptation is I'm gray, so you can't see me, so I'm swimming. So when a shark decides to attack, what does it do? It comes, when you see the shark fin, that's not the problem. When the shark fin disappears, that's the problem, right? Because that means it's going down and then it's going to come straight back up, right? Straight back up. And when it gets up, it's at you, it's under you, right? Mouth open. So that's how it adapts, right? So when you think about fear, a shark's fear is it doesn't want you to see it. Have you ever looked a shark right in the face if you're underwater? I know you haven't because I haven't. I've just seen
nobody
it
in the water looking at sharks.
But this is what the divers do, right? This is what the divers do. The divers look, when the divers aren't looking at the shark, they say the shark don't like the way human meat tastes. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna find out. But when they're not looking, the shark comes toward them to be nosy. But when you look at them, the shark goes away. Look at the shows. Watch what I'm telling you. Watch what happens. When you look right at the shark, it goes away. That's self-awareness. That's the best example I can give you of self-awareness, right? It's like an old game that we had, Ghost Hunters or something. When you look at the ghost, they go away. But when you don't see the ghost, they keep coming, right? Self-awareness is fear's biggest enemy, right? so y'all gonna remember that now, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's because, when you become aware of certain things, now you are equipped with the things that's necessary for you to go and get up every day in the fight. So that self-awareness, all a part of discovery. Once you start to understand your worth, you start to understand your values, you start to understand the things that you got for real, in order to strike, in order to get up and to do and to win. Now you become something so powerful. And many times our power is lying dormant on the inside of us, right? But now when you start to become aware of these things, now you're able to get up and to say, you know what? Oh no, no longer, no matter what the challenge is,
right?
No matter what I may be facing today, I am fully equipped in order to fight this battle, in order to pull that trigger, in order to get up and to strike at that thing. So, that's what self-awareness is that's why it's so important. And many times I would have to say that we end up staying in the same position or not really punching, dealing with that fear, punching fear in the face, because we're not aware of the things that we have, what's in our gun, like for real, for us to get up and fight. I know that was that's something that I had to battle with, and even moving forward in life, when we embark upon different things, you have to, really work on yourself on an every day, in order to, be able to just step out there and to do things, because there's always going to be those things that try to creep in if you're not understanding the power and fully powered up and ready to, move towards that thing.
Absolutely.
Take that action that's necessary.
So everybody, we said in the beginning of this series that we believe that everybody was created to be a leader. All of you guys were created to be a leader.
Right.
And the first person that you lead is you. So now when you step outside of the bubble, when you finally pop it, then you're gonna ready to dominate. Then guess what? You're the example of leadership,
Right.
right? So you've gotten a lot of practice because you've been leading yourself inside of your foundational moments inside of that bubble.
Right.
So now everything that you do is going to be looked at by somebody, either good or bad,
Right.
right? So you're influencing somebody because now you're not just stepping out as a black sweater in the sea of black sweaters. You're stepping out as the green sweater in the sea of black sweaters.
Mm-hmm.
You're stepping out to stand out, right? You're not
different.
just stepping out to fit in.
No.
You know, you're not just trying to, let me just get right in here, the back right here. They can't see me. They're not going to call on me. No, you're stepping out
Not for
to
your
sit up straight. Right. You're stepping out to sit up straight because you have a foundation. You're no longer mediocre. You're no longer average.
Right.
Right. So now here you are. This is the only way you can dominate, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you don't dominate, then you're just gonna be average. Right. So, but you said you wanted to dominate. You said you wanted to dominate. So you're self-aware enough. Now you're self-aware. You get it. You know that now when I step out and I pop this bubble, they're going to see a different you. They're going to see a different me. They're like, so the me that they see, this is what I want them to see. I want them to see posture. I want them to see power. I want them to see self-awareness, strength. I want them to see all of that. Confidence, because you traded in all of those bad traits that have been oppressing you for the new ones. So rightfully so. Now they see this. So self-awareness, guys, is the first. Is the S in strike. And, you know, misery definitely loves company, guys. So as long as you allow fear to control you, the longer you set the example for people closest to you. Remember, you have a tribe now.
Mm-hmm.
You have a tribe now. Even if your tribe is just one, maybe your tribe is two. You got somebody that's looking at you as part of your tribe, and you have a responsibility, right, to set the example for them, just as they have a responsibility to set the example for you.
Right.
Positivity trumps negativity.
All day long.
All day. Okay?
All day long.
So what's the T, Pam?
The T is for trust, right? So trust means that you need to trust in your abilities. Know without a shadow of a doubt that the things that you've discovered inside of that bubble, right, as you're becoming aware, right, that self-awareness, now you got to begin to move forward and trusting. Trust has a lot to do with believing, knowing without belief is everything, right? So once you begin to trust in the abilities that you have to realize and know, just like we talked about them fingerprints the other day, right? We talked about our uniqueness. And as Nate mentioned, you know, we're not designed to be a copy,
right? But
we want to literally make up our hustle in the fact that, you know, we are trusting in the ability that we have. So therefore that trust is now going to give us the energy, the fire, the drive for us to get up and to hustle towards the things, to move towards the things, as we're now trusting in the abilities that we have, right? Because if we don't trust in the abilities that we have, then you know what, we're not going to move forward. Not to mention, if we don't trust our own ability, nobody else is going to gravitate towards us to even believing in the things that we desire to have in life. So trust is a very key component. And it's another, as we're pulling that trigger, right, of that gun today, you know, really saying that, you know what, we got to strike at this thing, we got to fire at this thing, and we got to make a decision. It's all a decision, you know, really. When you work on you every single day and you begin to build yourself up, now you're trusting in the abilities. You may not have all the answers, but you move forward anyway, knowing that as you move forward, as you trust in yourself, you trust in the gifts, you trust in the talent, you trust in the work that's necessary in order to accomplish the goal, what happens is you become stronger through the process. The process is everything.
So you make up and hustle what you lack in ability.
There you go.
Okay. So your abilities are there, right? And you know that you trust that you have them, but guess what? I've always been taught that, you know, you always make up and hustle what you lack in ability. Because if you start feeling some kind of way, then just hustle more. You know, in basketball, you've always got that little short guy that can't jump, that will out hustle everybody because he doesn't have the ability to jump. He may not be able to shoot, but guess what? He's all over the court. He's making up and hustle. He's the best. If you put that ball on the floor, he's gonna get it. He get down the floor, he dribbling, he passes it, he hustled to get it. He made up in hustle what he lacked in ability. Okay, so that's kind of a something to bridge the gap with you guys as well. So what you have right now is enough. It's not that you have to convince anyone else of it, just yourself. What you have right now is enough. You built it in the bubble. Okay. You only have to convince yourself that it is enough, right? Because that indecision and that fear is here. It's not on the outside. It's
Right.
here. You created it. So now that you have enough, you're good. Move forward. Two bullets out of the gun. Okay. Strike and trust. Let's jump into number 3. Raw is real and worthy, right? Raw. I love the word raw. I use raw a lot because I think raw is the essence of a thing. And, you know, like I said, you have to know how to do things decent and in order, right? So I always say, I'm going to tell you the truth because I don't want to hurt your future, right? So I'm going to tell you the truth now. And my daughter came to me the other day. She said, Dad, you know, people can't hurt my feelings. My dad is a Sagittarius. Right? Absolutely, because she gets it straight, right? She gets it straight, but she gets it respectful. She asks me, she knows if she wants the truth, ask Dad. Right? So raw is real and worthy. Now, your confidence, guys, is the kryptonite to fear. You guys know Superman, right? Your confidence is the kryptonite to fear. There was that one thing that could kill Superman, and that was kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
But your confidence is the kryptonite to fear.
Absolutely.
When you're confident in your abilities, as you trust your abilities and what you make up in hustle, you make that up and hustle what you lack in abilities until you get there, till you get better. Then, guys, your kryptonite is your kryptonite for fear is your confidence.
Right.
Okay. So when you settle, quit, or compromise, it creates chinks in your armor. Fear sneaks in. And those little chinks in your armor, fear starts to sink in. When you get in a situation and you just built the you that you've always wanted in the bubble. It was like easy, right? If it's easy, it felt easy to you if you like whispered sweet nothings in your own ear in the bubble. It's gonna be okay. You know, don't worry about that. You'll do it. You get it again tomorrow.
Right.
No, in the bubble, you got to be hard hitting on yourself.
That's right.
Right? It's just like when my daughter said, you can't hurt my feelings. My dad is a Sagittarius. Right? That's because I give it to her in the bubble. She gets it. So when she leaves out of the house.
And it don't always feel good.
It don't always feel good. Medicine ain't always good, but it's good for you.
Right.
Right? So why are you all of a sudden out and now you got this lack of confidence? You got this lack of, you know, now you feel like I can't do this or I can't do that. That's the fear that you're allowing. That false evidence of being real is coming in again. But you know how to fight it because you just built this in this foundation in the bubble. You have a solid one. You're standing on it. So trust it, right? So it creates the chinks in the armor. The fear sleeps in. It's like jumping in the ocean with blood on you. The sharks are coming.
They're gonna come.
They're gonna come.
They're going to
Sharks
come.
don't come until they smell blood.
Mm-hmm.
That means something's hurt.
That's true.
Yeah, like I said, never let them see you. Never let them see you sweat.
You know, and that's good because when you're operating in mediocrity and you're operating in fear, you know what? Nothing's gonna come your way. But when you start to get that confidence and you start to really understand the power that you have, it's like you say, you know, that you're real and worthy. And you start to just move forward. That's when all the challenges are going to happen, like real talk. And so when we understand that, and we now, you know, realize that we cannot have these little chinks in our chain, right? Is that what it is? Chinks in our armor. Okay, chinks in our armor, chinks in the chain too, but chinks in our armor, right? That we gotta do something in order to, you know, keep it out. So, you know, it's being different. It's not going to be easy. All right. Doing different things in life is not going to be easy. Trying different opportunities in which a lot of people don't believe in, it's not going to be easy. But when you have that confidence built up, then, you know, you're able to, you know, fight the battle. Like that's gonna come your way, you know, because it's gonna be a battle every single day. And I think that that's one of the reasons why, you know, many people remain where they are, because they don't want to go through the pain that it's gonna take in order to, you know, really strike out and to move forward and to eliminate the fear that's going to try to hold you back and keep you in the same position.
Absolutely. Here's a trick. When something happens
Right.
in life, because things will happen,
Mhm.
here's the trick. Focus on the solution and not the problem.
Mm.
Because when you put energy in focusing on the problem, that's when things escalate
Yeah, you're gonna create more
and
problems.
create more problems.
Absolutely.
You're gonna
More
make a problem
challenges.
bigger than what it really is.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
so immediately, you know, one of the things I do, and I know one of the things that Pam does as well, is we focus on the problem, right? But focus on the solution. Whatever the solution is, if you tell me something, I'm gonna say this is the solution for it. In my mind, while you're telling me, I'm trying to find the solution. That's what you should do, right? In life, you should be looking for the solution and not focusing on the problem.
Absolutely. How can I
Okay.
implement change? Basically.
So
Right.
So we used the analogy of the shark earlier, and it was a great analogy because it goes in line with the fear. And most things, if you realize something, you know, even lions in the jungle, they're fearful of what they've never seen before,
Mm.
right? It's kind of like a weird thing. I'm not saying they're not going to attack you, because eventually they will.
Right.
Right? And it all depends on whether or not they just ate or not, too. Right? If they have just eaten, then they may be a little leery. But if they're hungry, they're gonna attack you. That's synonymous of the lion, right? But most things, think about it, snakes, all of these things that we have been taught that hurt us, they're really fearful of us. They all have defense mechanisms. Think about it. Snakes, rattlesnakes have rattles, right? Most snakes do things to stay away from issues, right? And you know, even snakes are that way. You know, all of the cats are that way. All the cat family, the lions, the cheetahs, all of these things are that way. They're not there just to thrash everything, right? So it's the fear of the unknown that holds them back,
Right.
right? But when you think about the lion, everybody wants to mimic the lion and the eagle, right? For good reason. The lion is the king of the jungle. Think about that. When you talk about dominating,
Mm.
right? The eagle is the king of the air, right? The lion is the king of the jungle. So when you've got the lion, think about the lion. Why is the lion the king of the jungle? It's not the biggest. Elephants are bigger than lions. Rhinoceroses are bigger than lions, right? Think about it. What's the long neck thing? Giraffes are bigger than lions. There are a lot of animals that are bigger than lions.
All right.
And but why is the lion so feared?
Because they posture up. They sit there like, listen, this is my world and you are in it.
Right. Pam is right. Pam
Like,
is
for
right.
real.
But let me give
you
y'all to eat with your elbows on the table answer, right?
They
Which
posture
is
up. They got
Pam is
that
right.
confidence
But they've been
that's
created that.
necessary.
But when a baby lion, when a baby elephant is born, or any baby, they don't know. They don't have that innate thing that's bad.
Right.
They don't know that's a lion
Right.
until they're taught that.
Right.
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 So think about it. When everything else in the jungle for the lion is food.
Mm-hmm.
It's food. All of the animals that I just created that are
So if it don't
bigger,
look like them, I'm like, you
it's
mine.
food.
Right.
Right. You think about that.
You
The
did.
lion eats everything, right? But think about, what about a cheetah? Cheetah's a meat eater too. Everything that I just mentioned before that's bigger than the lion, guys, here's a hint. They don't eat meat. They're not meat eaters. They eat plants. So they're bigger.
Mm,
So the lion eats meat. So does a cheetah. So does
Right.
a panther.
right.
Right? All of these things, so does an alligator. They all eat meat because they have sharp teeth, right? So they eat with their elbows on the table. That means that it ain't nothing that's not in my food chain. I eat everything. If I can kill it, I'm going to eat it.
That's how they dominate.
That's how they dominate. And when you pop that bubble, that has to be your mindset. If I kill it, I can eat it. If I don't kill it, I don't eat. So I think that I can eat everything. Everything is mine. Now we're getting to this point where I talked about earlier. Okay. Some things are just right. Some things are just wrong. You can't just bust out, man, just, I'm a lion and I'm going to kill everything. No,
Right.
You have to understand the context of what your vision, what your purpose is, what's your path. We want you to dominate things that are in your path in the perspective to achieve a goal, right?
That's good.
So that means that there are morals, there's integrity,
Absolutely.
there's character
Yes.
attached
All of
to
that.
your domination. That's what I mean when it gets weird, when you neglect or just cross over those things. When you start doing things that jeopardize your character, well, I don't care what they think about me. I'm gonna do this anyway. And you're going out, just walking out in the streets, punching people in the face because I'm dominating. You just walking around, doing whatever you want to do, doing drugs in public. I'm dominating. I'm doing me. There's a line there that you don't want to cross because you're going to be on the losing end of that battle, right? So if you guys get that, that's what I mean when it gets weird.
Right.
It gets weird. So if you think about why the lion is the king of the jungle, it's not so much as that everything is meat, because there are other cat that's meat too, right? You got lions, you got cheetahs, you got snow leopards, they all recognize the lion as the king, not because of its teeth, because they all got teeth. It's because of its posture. It's because of its lack of fear. I've seen lions go after things that are much bigger than them. I've seen lions go after other cats, and you get a reputation for domination.
Right.
He's gonna dominate. And what does the hyena tell the baby hyena? Hey, we're bad, but we ain't that bad, right? We're gonna eat whatever they don't eat. We're gonna eat it, right? But they gonna kill it. We'll eat it, right? And if just in case you don't realize that, if we ever catch one of them by themselves, we'll try to take it down.
Right.
All of us got to try to kill this lion,
Go.
right? Until one more lion shows up. Guys, I hope y'all getting this lesson, right? Right? That's why you need a tribe. You need a tribe. You need two people, right? Somebody that shares your vision, that understands where you are, because inevitably the hyenas are going to come, right? You can stave them off for a minute, right? But you're going to need somebody else to come. I seen a video the other day, and they had one lion that was caught out there by itself, and the cheetah, the hyenas, they said, "Oh, he by himself." It was a little young male lion, right? Still a big lion. Said, "Oh, he by himself. Let's all 12 of us jump on him and kill him." They were like all of them. He was still biting them, and he kept that fight up for like 2-3 minutes, and they were still kind of real apprehensive about going in there. And because they knew if I go in there, he's gonna bite me, right? So some of them, one jump in there, then two come together. Let's try 3, and they all he's in the middle of them. They bite him. He comes up. Next thing you know, one lion shows up. One more lion shows up.
Wow,
One lion comes in
that's good.
and grabs one of them. Everybody disperses. 12 of us can take down one in about 15 minutes, but 12 of us can't take down 2. Period. That's the tribe that I'm talking about, guys. That's how you dominate. You dominate. You start out by the law of attraction says, I'm dominating. I'm coming out. Pop the bubble. Here I am. Here's the S on my chest. Here it is. I'm ready. Then you start attracting other superheroes. You start attracting other visionaries.
That's good. That's powerful. You're right. Wow, that's good stuff.
Lions. So it's like this whole thing, guys, is all about you having confidence in yourself. And I think that's kind of like the biggest thing. So that was the R. The I.
The I.
We're on the I.
6 principles.
We're on the I. Number 4, intentional. Pam, read intentional.
The intentional entrepreneur considers every possibility with the understanding that everything is possible, right? Leave no stone unturned, cover all of the bases. I know what could happen. I know what I want to happen. And here's how I'm going to make it happen. Plan, plan, plan. That's good. You
See
know,
that?
mentally, hold on, something else. Mentally, you're always 2 steps ahead and prepared for whatever. You know, when you plan, you know, for real, and you're now intentional in the moves that you make towards the goals that you want to achieve, then you're able to plan and you're able to understand that there's going to be some challenges along the way. But mentally, because you're ahead of the game, right? We put ourselves ahead of the game to where, you know, those things that are going to happen, you know, they don't shake us. They don't take us, you know, all the way down. We just deal with them because of the fact that we're focused on the solution, right? Not the challenge that's at hand. But now we're able to continue to stay ahead of the game and now to move, you know, with the tenacity that's necessary in order to make things happen.
That's right. Because you prepared for it.
Right, you prepare for it.
That's
right.
good.
You know it's gonna happen. So, you know, it allows you to be able to realize that, hey, this is part of the process. There's something that has to be learned as I go through this, as I grow through this. And so you don't focus on the issue at hand, the challenge at hand. Instead, you now are able to smile at the situation and say, okay, how do I fix this? How do I overcome this? Because of the fact that now you've come out this bubble with these abilities, you know, with this knowing, with the hustle that's necessary in order to now move yourself forward. But you're able to recognize it and now say, not gonna allow that to happen. How do we get past this? How do we move forward? How do I overcome this? How do I jump over this hurdle? And now you look up because you're making these intentional moves. You're not just moving by happenstance. Because when you move by happenstance and you don't have a plan, you either plan to win or you plan to fail. So you got to have a plan in place, knowing exactly where you're going to go. When you know exactly what you want to accomplish, when you know exactly where you're going, then guess what? Nothing can come in and change the plan. Nothing can come in and take you off your game. Nothing can come in and shift your focus when you know exactly who you are, right? Self-awareness, what you deserve, and where you're going.
Absolutely.
Intentional moves. You got to be intentional.
Intentional, and that's the I in strike, guys. And it is the fourth principle, guys, to assassinate fear before you pop that bubble, right? Because you need to be ready when you pop that bubble.
Right.
And, you know, and consider this, guys. If you're not coming out to dominate, why are you coming out? I don't understand.
Because if you don't come out with the mindset of dominating, you're gonna end up shrinking back.
Right. Why come out if you're not coming out to go all the way? It's like, you know, I would say if somebody puts 2 suitcases, each with $1 million on the table, and they said, take what you want. I don't know anybody in the free world because I'm just going to take 1 suitcase.
Right, I want both.
Right, I want both. Until they tell you,
I can't carry them. That's why I got my tribe. Come on, let's carry these suitcases.
Yeah, but they say, you know what? Well, you know what you're gonna have to work, but you're gonna have to work to get them both. Okay, then the person that doesn't dominate is the person that's gonna say, well, what do I have to do just to get some of it? So what's free? The person that's not ready to dominate, they're always looking for what's free. They're always looking for what's easy, what's given to me. Right. What can I get without any sacrifice?
Don't want to put in no work.
No work. They want to skate along.
Just want to gain.
No work. You can get about 20,000. I give you 20,000 up for free. That's cool. That's all I wanted anyway. You immediately dummy down your goal to 20K. You started out with blood on your lips for 2 million, but you dummy it down to 20K because that's what's free.
It's free, and you settle, and that's what happens too many times in life because it for real, because it's a way to be able to just get what's thrown at you instead of going for the gusto, instead of going for the very thing that you absolutely deserve. You dummy down the goal, you dummy down, the dream. It just to take, what can be given to you because it doesn't require anything of you.
Doesn't require anything of you. No sacrifice.
Right. No sacrifice.
No sacrifice. But that's the thing that kills everybody's. That kills everybody's dreams. The sacrifice that they have to make, and it's the it's the piece that when you're presented something like here's the top and here's the bottom. most people automatically pick their level where they want to be based on what they have to do to get it. Right. So you immediately say, if I got to do this to get that, then instead of me saying, well, this is what I feel I can do, what do I need to do to get that? To go all the way to the top, what do I need to do? And it's easier to build the muscle to get to the top as it is to build muscle to get a quarter of the way up. Right? You see what I'm saying? So why not try and build to get to the top as opposed to building to settle? It's a weird thing, but it's true. But a lot of people do it because nobody's willing to make a sacrifice. Nobody's willing to give something up to get something. And I believe people die with that very mindset, and they wish that I would have done things differently. They wish that I would have eaten with my elbows on the table. And what do you have for me?
Right.
I need what's mine. Show me what it is.
Absolutely.
And I want it.
I want it.
I'm going to do what I got to do to get it.
I'm unstoppable.
As Joe Namath said, if you're not going to go all the way, why go at all?
Right.
Right.
Go back home. Either go all in or go home.
Yeah. Some of y'all never crossed that bubble.
Right. Once we come out that bubble and we coming out strong, we understand that, you know what, we're going to have to go through some things. We got to go all in. Too many times in life with the things that we desire, the things that we deserve, our purpose, we half step with it. And we don't move forward. Mm-hmm. Why? Because we allow life's challenges. We allow we allow the world to implement things upon us, and we grab a hold of these things instead of saying, no, you're not allowed. All right. I'm coming out strong. I got this S on my chest. I understand my purpose. I have a plan. I am intentional. And now you get up and you do what's necessary in order to go all in or just get off. Just remain average. Just remain ordinary. But you know what? There's the ones out there in this world that say, you know what? I refuse to settle. I refuse to be average. I realize that, you know what? I'm here for a reason on this earth. We got one life to live. And if we think that this life is about us, then we're missing it. It's not about us. It's about who can we become? How can we discover to uncover so we can recover so that we can dominate, as we've been talking about in this series, so that we can move forward and to realize the power that we got on the inside, to be intentional with our moves, to be aware of the things that we have, and now to move forward in order to put in the work, to eat with our elbows on the table, and to dominate in all that we put our hands to, that God allows us to connect to. That's what it's all about.
And we jumped a little bit ahead, but that's okay because we both did, because it gets exciting when you really think about what it really means to dominate.
Right.
Because most people do have an average mindset. That's why there's a 97.3.
Yeah.
Right. And it happens that way. Everybody, I got a big painting on my wall in my office. It says, everybody's hungry until it's time to hunt. Right. Everybody. And what's the picture that's in front of? It's a lion. Everybody's hungry until it's time to hunt. The lion doesn't think that there's anything that they can't kill and eat. Which brings us to number 5, the K, right? The principle, fear principle, strike principle number 5 is kill. Kill it first. Kill it first. Be the hunter and not the hunted. Fear preys on the weak spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Yes, it does.
Take that away by working on yourself constantly. Kill it first. Kill it first. 3%ers. When you guys see me doing this, that means 3%ers. That doesn't mean fraternity. That means I'm a 3%er. That means I work on mind, body, and money. Right? Those 3%ers that get this concept, they dominate. Because their level of confidence is like the lion, it's like the eagle. Right. I've seen eagles get down. I'm gonna tell you how powerful the eagle is. Right, the eagle is so powerful, and the mindset is like, I want fresh meat. Eagle don't eat roadkill. If it's already been killed by somebody else, you will never see an eagle eat. Never.
Only the crows.
Only the crows and the vultures, right? When somebody else has killed something and it's been laying there, the eagles won't. Right, all of those birds, right? The eagles won't eat it. I've seen an eagle go down and grab something and put its claws in it, and start eating it while it's still living. Literally, because it only wants to eat fresh meat. It eats the fresh meat. So guys, kill it first. Be the hunter, not the hunted.
Not the hunted.
That's the only way you can dominate. But when you start being hunted, that means you go back to being that little red circle on the target, and people start oppressing you again and throwing darts at you, and you find yourself 6 months down the road back where you started.
Wow.
Because you didn't have the lion's mentality. You didn't have the eagle mentality. Guys, people are going to call you cocky. Been there, done that. People have called me that before, right? Cocky, when Nate's a little cocky, Nate's confident.
Right.
Nate's confident. I'm confident in who I am. I know whose I am. I know what I am. I know what's on the inside of me because I put it there, right? I put it there every single day. I grow what God gave me every single day. And when we look at that, that's what we're telling you. Grow what God gave you every single day. You cannot dominate. You can only talk about dominating if you're not physically doing the things that it takes to dominate.
Every day.
Everybody wants to eat until it's time to hunt.
That's good.
And we have to grab this concept. So kill it. Be the hunter and not the hunted. Okay? I love this show. I always talk about it, Pam. I can never remember the name of it. It's crazy.
How you love it?
I love it because I've seen it quite a few times. I think it's called Riddick. It's called Riddick because I love Vin Diesel, right? Riddick is a show. It's a movie. And this culture of people called necromongers or something. Their motto is you keep what you kill. So
if you don't kill it, you don't have nothing.
You don't kill it, you don't eat, right? You keep what you kill. So that means at any point in time, if you want to move up in power, you have to kill the next person that's in that seat.
Right.
And in all to not to be weird. That's my new statement. Just don't make it weird.
Use that word a lot.
Yeah,
today.
for it not to be weird, you take the physicality out of that, but I love the concept.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't, and I spin that around, and I'm like, hey, if you don't do what it takes to get it, you can't have it.
Right.
In there is it's keep what you kill. If you're the leader, if I want to take your place, I gotta kill you to take your place. Gotcha. Then it's mine. Right? I can challenge at any point in time.
Gotcha.
Right? But what do I do in the context of not being weird? I say, if I want the things that Pam McCray has, then I gotta do more than what she's doing. Right? I gotta do at least what I see her doing. I have that. So I have to do my own. I have to kill self and create a new self that's going to create what I need to get to the point to where she is. Now, I never say I want what somebody else has, right? I always say I want what God has for me.
Absolutely.
Because what God has for me could be vastly more abundant than what he has for somebody else, right? And I know that for a fact, right? Because that's the premise I live on every day. Nobody can define who I am but me.
Right.
Nobody can define where I'm going but me. I know that. Nobody else knows that. You can just confirm. That's it. So the kill it portion of this, guys, is you kill it. Guys, be the hunter and not the hunted.
Right. Okay? That's good. All right. So number 6, let's move forward because I want IG to catch this because we don't got so much time before they shut that down. All right. So number 6, right? We're talking about the 6 principles to conquer fear in order to dominate as we're closing out this series. So number 6, we kind of talked about it along the way. Eat with your elbows on the table. There is no etiquette. I'm sorry.
Etiquette. There's no etiquette.
Etiquette. There is no etiquette.
Ain't no etiquette. Ain't nobody quitting over here.
Right, we ain't quitting over here. There is no etiquette in war. Stop being so concerned with what everyone thinks. You will never discover your path unless you discover yourself, right? We talked about the discovery phase. Nice guys finish last. So true. All right. Sounds like a bad cliche created by a bad person. Nope, it's a real cliche created by a successful person. Whatever you are visualizing as yours, don't wait for it. Go kill it and bring it home. All right.
So let's start right there. Don't say that last part.
All right.
So Eat with your elbows on the table. We already alluded to that.
Right.
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 Eating with your elbows on the table. This is the epitome of what this is. There is no etiquette in your creation, in your war, in the space where you fight. There's no etiquette. Stop being the person that everybody, well, I'm gonna do that.
Nope.
Right? You're trying to do things to please everybody else, but it's not what God gave you.
Right.
Right? So you're that imposter in your life, and you're going down this road on another path. But God, when you make those course, when you make those course corrections, now you eat with your elbows on the table, guys. That means this is what God's. Stream.
I think we're coming in. Did you do it?
I did. Mm-hmm.
Huh. All righty.
We're saying something good. There we go.
Wow. Look. Right at the end.
Right at the end.
You want to act crazy, but that's okay. We're gonna finish this thing up.
So
right?
Nothing can stop. Nothing can deny the person that will not be denied.
Right.
Right. So all of this, guys, is eating with your elbows on the table. No etiquette in war. Stop being concerned about other people think. You know who you are now. You know who you are. Nobody can take that from you because you built a foundation based on who you are.
Right.
Now you know your thumbprint. You know your purpose. You know where you are. You know what God created you to be. So let's go forth and let's do it. Right. So we've given you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 principles. Right. 6 strike principles, guys, to annihilate fear. And when you annihilate fear, that means you've taken 6 bullets out of the gun of fear.
Bullet trigger.
Right. So there are no more bullets in the gun of fear because there are no more unknowns that you're not prepared to face.
Right. That's good.
There are no more bullets in the gun because there are no more unknowns that you're prepared to face.
Mm-hmm.
So now when you start flying high, you can't even hear what the crows and what the pigeons are saying. All you can hear is what God is saying to you and what you should do. And at that point, they're going to start out by talking about you. Then they're going to want to know what you're doing. And then they're going to want to join you.
Absolutely.
And that's just part of reality. Don't get mad about it. It's just a natural progression of people typically that aren't ready to dominate.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand that. If you're not ready, if you're dominating, don't expect everybody to understand you.
No,
because
they're not. No, they're not. They're not. But when you know and you're intentional and you know the plan and you move forward and you discover you and you now take total control in order to dominate, everything will come together. But you got to embrace the process in order to move forward in the plan that God has for you. So, you know what? As we're wrapping up this series, the Power Series, if you guys miss any part of it, you can definitely go back and listen to, the previous episodes as we talked about discovering to uncover, to recover, and then to dominate. So all you have to do is go to www.blogtalkradio.com/thegrind101. And you know what? We'll look forward to seeing you back on Tuesday for another episode as The Grind. Tell somebody about The Grind. We truly appreciate all of the listeners that call into our listen in platform on Blog Talk Radio, and to everybody that jumps on and our faithful listeners and shares it out to everybody on Facebook. We love you guys. We appreciate you. And our Instagram watchers. We definitely appreciate each and every one of you. So make it another great day, another great weekend, and we'll see y'all back on Tuesday. All right. It's time to go
dominate. Thank you guys so much.
You know what it takes.
Words.
You know what you got to do. Let's dominate. Let's take control.
We'll see you guys
Love
on
you
Tuesday,
guys.
bright and early. Guys, God bless y'all.
God bless you, everybody.